Some damn chests. Chris with us. Oh, look at this jackass.
Faith means belief in something without evidence. Because if you believe something without evidence, then that justifies anything. You're no longer vulnerable to somebody coming back at you and saying, hang on a minute, let me argue the case. If you believe it without evidence, which is what faith is, then you don't argue the case. You say, no, I'm not arguing that case. This is my faith.
I had a
it's
speedy
mine.
faith,
It's private. I don't dissent from it. I don't
Chris
retreat from it. You're just going to have to accept it. Now that is evil.
And you spend so much of your time debating people of faith. So clearly people of faith are interested in having discussions. They're not just all blind believers, insisting on their way of...
Nobody said anything about all of them. I mean, the vast majority of religious people are perfectly good, nice people, as you are. There's no suggestion I've ever made that all religious people are evil. Of course not. There is a logical progression that goes from believing in faith, having faith that your God tells you to do something, and doing terrible deeds, like suicide bombing, like flying planes into skyscrapers. The vast majority of people of faith don't do such terrible things. But those people who do terrible things do it believing that they are righteous
Has she
and
got
good.
jewel Scott's arm?
But they're doing the will
Have
of
I
their
got
God.
jewel
So
Scott's arms?
they're not evil people. They're actually good people by their own lights. They believe they're doing good things. And that's why religion is evil, because it can make you do evil things.
Jewel Scott's, jewel Scott's, jewel Scott's, jewel Scott's, jewel Scott's. Move! 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 Move, slat-eyed slut from China. You slant-eyed slut from China, Japan, and the Orient. You Oriental prostitute. I mean the Orient. You slant-eyed slut from China, Japan, and the Orient. I mean the Orient. You Oriental prostitute. You slut. Come on, slut ass. You slut. She's cute. Boop! I touched her hand. Man, I got some spit arms. Get that whore out of here! Get that flaming whore out of here. With smelly Shelly cushy rhymes. She was smelly Shelly cushy rhyme. And nothing wrong with her name. Cherry Boop. damn fag tag. There's that fag tag. I have to throw it on the damn floor. I give him a little extra treat. Spit, 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 spit. She's cute. Get that whore out of here, slut. That whore, that whore, that whore, that whore. She's a whore. She's cute. God, the fucking son of a goddamn bitch. Moo, you slant-eyed slut from China, Japan, West Piet. The Orient. Suck my dick, bitch. Where's Piet?
Welcome to In Time.
Where's
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications.
Where's
We read all of your comments, and if you like this video, please don't forget to share.
Moose, slut! Wow, push your black ass for stolen. fucking brat. Stupid! Cause that was stupid! Yep, it was stupid on my part. Yeah, it was. That was fucking stupid on my part. Come on, you slant-eyed slut.
Hello, hello. My name is Nicholas Lamar Suter, and this is In Time. Thank you so much for joining
Come
us.
on, slut.
You know, I bemoan being called an atheist channel all the time.
Come on,
so
slut.
much content.
Move, slut.
It's news, politics, religion, but we do on occasion do the atheist show. Why? It's a topic that interests me. I also think there's a lot of tension in that area,
Come
especially
on,
between
you
atheists and
slut.
atheists and people who are religious. We
I'm
have
looking
our
at ear,
conversion
you're right.
stories. Even we had the conversion story of Dr. Cy Gart, who told us why, when he looked into science, what he saw was God coming out. But obviously, this show
Come on, you
leans,
slut.
very strongly in one direction, as do most of the
Come
people
on,
on it. But,
slut.
we always want to try to find ways to make the conversation better and to make the understanding of both sides better. But today, we've had the deconversion of Aaron Ra, Matt Dillahunty, and a few others to boot, and they've all been spectacular. And we want to sort of humanize these experiences. So today we are going to be doing atheist content, and we're going to be having on Seth Andrews to talk about his deconversion and how that affected him, and how maybe we can see that in a larger context. Any thoughts on that, Xandering? Welcome, by the way. I've just introduced you.
Well, everybody should know that I'm here already. They don't see me, but I'm always lurking.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
Yeah, but it's still kind of relevant.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
Dick. The policies that they like to see enacted, who they vote for, etc. So it is relevant in our world today to kind of get behind why people believe what they believe, and what kinds of things changed their minds. So I think it's a great idea to be able to look at a story, because I don't see it as like an atheist conversion story. I see it as somebody getting new information and being able to change their mind.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
New information, updated information,
I see
that
a
we have
dick
the
in your
ability to
future.
change our
I
minds. So I
see
like
a
highlighting
dick.
when these kinds of things happen.
I
And I
see
think
a
it's really
dick in your
relevant beyond
future.
just the
I
whole,
see a dick.
religious debate.
That's a really excellent point.
Dick.
I know I kept you around for a reason, aside from
Dick.
the fact that you're always wrong on the gun debate.
Twist.
It's awesome to highlight that, but we'll save that for another time.
Slut.
All right. So, excellent point.
Come on,
And with that said, let's bring out our guest tonight, Mr. Seth Andrews. Mr. Andrews, how are you doing today, good sir?
I'm well. Thanks for letting me play along. It's good to be here.
Oh, it's good to see you. We had you on before to discuss conversation.
Stupid! Kiss that poor goodbye.
Tang's Better Conference coming up at the end of the month.
Cause that was
tell us a little bit about your podcast and what it is you do.
Well, coming out of hardcore evangelical Christianity, I came out of a faith culture. When I deconverted, I wanted to create some online community and be a part of the discussion. And so I launched a website called The Thinking Atheist. I am not the Thinking Atheist. The Thinking Atheist is an idea. It is an idea to reject faith culture and to, let's go out and be curious and engage our brains and think about these things. The website started in 2009. I had started a radio podcast in 2010, which was a good fit for me. I spent 14 years in FM radio back in the 90s and 2000s, and I've been kicking ever since, spoken all around the world, published 5 books, and now I'm sitting here with you fine people and glad to be here.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I will say this too. Neil604 is a good friend of mine, and he's a good friend of the show. He's Canadian, and so we naturally blame him for everything that goes wrong, even if he's not online. If we have production problems, it's his fault. But that aside, I remember he and I hung around together a lot at the last Faithless Forum, and you had been there, and you and I had spoken briefly. I spoke with a lot of people there. It was a lot of fun. But one of the things I had said was, well, I really want to talk to Seth about getting him on the show. And Neil was like, oh, just go up and ask him. I was like, I can't go up and just ask. He goes, no, he's really that kind of guy. He's that kind of guy. And I hear that all the time, and 9 times out of 10, it's complete BS. It's like, Nick, he's that kind of, and if Neil calls you that kind of guy, you're that kind of guy. And I did, and you were like, when do I come on? So we appreciate that, and I think that's, I hope we end up, getting 300,000 subs and end up being a gentleman, and we certainly loved the last time. So thank you so much for coming. So with that said, let's talk about, now you had said, a lot of people love your work. A lot of people, especially in the atheist and anti-theist community, but you didn't start out that way. So what kind of theist were you?
My mother and father were hardcore theologian level evangelical Bible literalist Christians. They met at Oral Roberts University. That tells you how hardcore they were. My mother was a Greek New Testament teacher and remains so today in her mid-80s. And so it was it was our normal. You go to Christian church and we listen to Christian music and we memorize the Christian Bible, and it was one of those. I don't know. I didn't realize how fundy it was at the time, because when you're a kid, you don't have perspective. This is normal. Everybody does this, and if they don't, well, they are evil, or something. Or those poor deceived people, they weren't fortunate enough to be born in the right place, the right family, with the right religion,
Before I got rid of one of those bitch shit. I didn't say bishop, I said bitch shit.
The confidence of youth I had, it's one of those things where when they that you've got the answer with a capital A, it has this byproduct of killing curiosity. You stop asking questions about everything, almost everything. I was, a young Earth creationist, or at least a biblical creationist, a Genesis creationist, and we just laughed at evolution. No idea what it is, never studied it. We just studied the caricature of it and sort of brushed it off. When it came to things like other religions or LGBT people, etc., Democrats, we were hardcore Christian nationalist Republicans. Our God was a Republican God, and I was just superior in that. Well, of course we're superior, and they're weak and they're traitors, and probably in league with Lucifer. When you raised around those sort of binary ideas, and on top of that, I was kind of I was a natural communicator, natural leader. I guess I've always been kind of a crusader in my life. So when long before in high school, I was a student leader. I was on stage leading chapel services. I was a spokesperson for Youth for Christ and Christian school from 7 years, I think, 7 or 8. And then I entered a career of Christian music. We played Amy Grant, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Michael W. Smith, that kind of thing. And so even more, I was reinforced in my notions that I was ministering. I was doing God's good work, And I was deeply immersed in that culture for decades of my life before I finally started to tap on the glass. So, my history is a deeply religious, a deeply Christian,
my dick, bitch.
A deeply fundamental Christian history.
Well, now you asked about,
you
talked about beginning. It's like, you started off in, I believe you called it a faith community. Can you maybe explain exactly what you mean? What are the hallmarks of a faith-based community? How can people kind of recognize if they don't really know anything about it? Recognize that you're in one of those? Because I think it's kind of important to understand, where you come from, what the mindset is, to figure out how you got to where you are today.
There are a lot of gears in this machine, and it's a little bit hypocritical, this culture. But the Bible talks about doubt as being weakness or a sin or an attack of the evil one. Remember what Christ
I
said,
my dick in
right?
Butt.
The one who doubts
And
is
twist.
like a wave at the sea, blown
You
and tossed
slut
about by
that
the wind.
slut.
That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Remember, doubting Thomas. Thomas
Can't you
wanted to
slut
see
that slut
the
ass
nail
back
holes
China?
and the spear hole in Christ's body after the
You
resurrection.
slut.
He wanted to make sure it was Christ. And Jesus said, you know, blessed are those who've seen and believed. Blessed are those who have not seen. And so what we have is a culture that takes a lot of pride in embracing faith, which is believing without
Fuck
knowing,
faith.
really. Because once it becomes
Fuck
knowledge,
faith.
you no longer need faith. It's called faith because it's not knowledge. But, hey, I believe.
Let's see if I
Bible
smell like
called
syrup
us to
spit.
believe, right? If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe, you know, it's very much a culture where knowing without knowing, knowing in your
I
heart,
must have smelled that
without the
syrup
data,
spit
which is
smell.
not real knowledge.
I must have smelled that
This type
syrup
of thing
spit.
is extolled and it's celebrated and it's taught and it's, you know, it's a culture where we distrust every non-confirming
slut,
piece of
move,
information.
slut.
We distrust everything
Wow, put your
different.
black ass
We
slut.
simply have
Come
faith,
in.
and that faith becomes our knowledge. It's true because it is. It's true
What?
because I believe it. I believe it because it's true. And yeah, you'll see some apologists who talk out of both sides of their mouths and say, well, actually, the evidence is everywhere. God is evident in everything from the rainbow and the beautiful trees and the lovely child born in the delivery room. And, you know, a miracle happened and, you know, intelligent design. Look at the cosmos, et cetera, you know, so they talk about how, well, we do have knowledge. God has been manifested everywhere. And then in the other side of their mouth, they say, well, you know, God uses the foolish things to confound the wise. You know, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and he does so that our faith centers must be engaged. So the more sense he makes, the less faith is required. So he needs to be out of our reach so that we will trust him blindly. And you see these sort of two sides of the coin flipping back and forth. But that's what I mean by faith culture, a belief in belief culture.
How much of that do you think? I'm going to jump ahead, but just because it's I do want to get back to this, but since we're here, how much of the I remember Hitchens talking about Mother Teresa, and I remember I was always a big fan of Daniel Dennett, one of the Four Horsemen that's sort of the least talked about, but he's got the Clergy Project and tries to help people who are in a very serious position. They realize they don't believe anymore, but they happen to be clergy. Their life depends on, or their livelihood depends on it.
Fuck it.
But one of the things I thought about was in the canonization of Mother Teresa, it seemed to me that if you truly believed that she was a saint, you must know for a fact that you will see the miracles that must be performed post-mortem by her. You're going to see them. You've been told by the Pope you're going to see them, so you need to wait for them and wait for the good ones. But the first one that they used in the canonization was so obviously a fraud, and it got accepted by all of these bishops, and it got accepted by, and I was sitting there going, okay, if I believed, I would find this so profoundly offensive, because you know the real one's coming. You know the real one's coming. You've been told it's coming. So why accept the fraud? And that's when it struck me as this revelation, and Dennett had used these numbers before, that maybe as many as 40% of the upper echelons of many of these religions actually don't believe. 40% of bishops actually don't believe. Does that make any sense to you, that number? Does that seem high, low? And or then the follow-up question, these things that you've talked about, these platitudes, that do you think how much of that is deliberate, how much of that is engineered, do you think? And when did you start asking yourself these questions?
I can't speak to the statistics in the Catholic Church, nor can I really read the minds and hearts of people professing a belief, but knowing the power of religious institutions to exert control, and knowing that these systems are attractive to opportunists, you know, I do deeply suspect that a great many people who are wearing the bishop's robes aren't all that convinced, you know, if not outright believers, but I can't really read their minds. But Mother Teresa is a great example of belief in belief. I did a speech a few years ago called The Mother of Bad Ideas, where I drew attention to the fact that when you talk to people about Mother Teresa, you get a great sort of case study in how someone can believe deeply and take a belief very personally, even passionately, even contentiously, without knowing anything about it. So you go to someone and you say, look, there's a lot of evidence that Mother Teresa wasn't really saintly. She was responsible for a tremendous amount of suffering. She was a very troubled woman, had some very bad ideas, and she was a total hypocrite, jet-setting around with all these, you know, with the junk bond guy and with the Duvalier family, taking money from them, and a hugely corrupt family. And I say this stuff, and you can see they freeze, and they tighten up, and they clench, and they say, no, you can't. Why would you ever go against Mother Teresa? Why would you ever say anything? What sort of a terrible person could ever criticize? And so then I continue the experiment, and I say, all right, fine. I would like for you to name 3 things that you know about Mother Teresa that have nothing to do with her religion or where she was born. Right? More than just Teresa of Calcutta, more than Teresa the nun or the Catholic nun. Give me 3 pieces of information you know about her. Nobody. They can't tell me specific things that she has done, in what places she has done them, has no idea what her life and legacy truly are. So where does this very personal attitude of defense come?
He grabbed the feet out of the jaws of victory.
They fell in love with the idea of Mother Teresa, and they protect that idea like they would protect a member of their own family.
I mean to do that stupid move.
Political beliefs, and they certainly do it with religious beliefs. So if I believe based on faith, and I say the Bible is true, I don't really know the Bible, but I know it's true, and somebody comes and they do the counter-apologetics thing, and they say, well, actually, this is wrong, and this has been disproven, and this is contradictory, and this is offensive. Sometimes we wonder, why? Why am I not able to make a dent? Why are they doubling down? Why is the backfire effect kicking in? Why do I leave these conversations pounding my head against the wall? And the reason is that they have a belief in belief. Right? This is an emotional connection to a cherished idea, not rooted in facts. And this demonstrates one of the main challenges that we have when it comes to changing minds, even our own. We can all be creatures married to an idea that we take personally. The amygdala fires up, our defenses kick in, we stop listening, and nobody gets anywhere. So that's just, forgive the digression, but the Mother Teresa example reminded me of belief in that regard.
What was it? So you grew up in faith community. You were in this very deeply. You believed very deeply. Where did the cracks start beginning? What was it that made you at least contemplate the idea that maybe I'm wrong, or maybe all of these people around me are wrong, and maybe I should do a little bit more research?
Well, everybody deconverts differently. I took a long time. I think one thing about working in Christian music, and then later I was a video producer for literally hundreds of churches all around the country, when you see so much of the hypocrisy, and you see so much of the human struggle, and you see so much of the marketing in this culture, I think, you know, there's a series of red flags that I think started to come up. My first major hiccup happened in '97. There was a Christian music artist and songwriter named Rich Mullins. He was terribly killed in a car accident. This was September of '97. And I was charged to go online and, you know, make the announcement, and we gave words of comfort. You know, he's in a better place. He's in a place now where there are no car accidents, and we will all be reunited in kumbaya, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's really in that moment I thought, this makes no sense. Now, why would God bring this guy to the forefront of ministry? Why would he then have him hit his body, not his car, his body hit by a semi on a dark highway in Albuquerque, New Mexico somewhere? Why would he give his mother a closed casket and send the planet into mourning, all of his fans? This makes no sense. And then I also became very aware that we were constructing the mechanisms for comfort, right? We were painting in the lines. We were writing the happy ending. Well, you know, he's gone, but it was just a temporary moment of suffering, and he is now in a place where there is only light and joy in music and goodness and God. And one day, we'll all get to experience this together. And it just felt manufactured, you know. 9/11 was a big thing for me. I was on the air at Live 101.5 FM, a Clear Channel property. I was the known Christian at a secular company, and everybody freaked out during 9/11, including myself. People came to my studio because they were scared, and they wanted me to pray for them because I'm the Christian. We all sat around, joined hands, and I came up with some sort of lofty language, you know, "Dear Lord, protect us," blah, blah, blah. The whole time I just felt like it was wrong, like something, these things aren't making sense. You know, why am I praying to the same God who knew this was going to happen and did nothing? Why are even the Muslims screaming the name of God and saying that they're on God's side and God is on theirs? What about all these weird threats from people like Pat Robertson and Falwell who say we deserved it because of the gays or whatever? I mean, I just, you know, it caused me to go dormant, really. I was wearing Christianity on my lapel. Yeah, of course I'm a Christian. Of course I believe in God. But I lived pretty much a secular life. I didn't go to church. Didn't care about the Bible. And, you know, I just sort of checked out. And so it was probably 2 major events and about 1,000 small ones that led me to finally get serious about, you know, trying to figure things out. But that didn't happen till I was 37 years old.
Sam Harris had said about how a belief feels so uncommonly good, and you had talked about the there's no feeling like the confidence of youth. So here you are starting to doubt. You're a leader in this community. Why pull on the threads on the tapestry? Why challenge it? Why ask any more questions if it gave you status and gave you a place of belonging?
That's a great question. I think some of it has to do with getting older and being less interested in keeping everybody else comfortable. Because there are social pressures that keep a lot of people from really taking a journey, especially an uncomfortable one. You know, I don't want to freak out my family, or I don't want my spouse to leave me, or my children to disown me, or vice versa, or whatever. And I think there was a speech I had stumbled across, a Christopher Hitchens debate with a rabbi. And I didn't know much about Hitch, but I had heard his voice a few times, and I was just listening to stuff while I was working on a video editing project. I'm doing graphics, I've got Photoshop and After Effects stuff, but I'm doing keyframing stuff that doesn't require a lot of creative thought, so I just listen to stuff, and I put on YouTube videos, that kind of thing. And, you know, I remember listening to Hitchens, thinking I'm supposed to disagree with this guy. But at the end of that 90 minutes, I came to the realization he made a lot more sense. Now, I'm not Jewish, but I thought certainly the rabbi's got this, right? If he's going to go out, he's going to defend the Abrahamic God. I mean, certainly he'll come out better. But it was Hitch who made the most sense. And it just lit a fire in me. I think also, given my temperament, the more people told me I'm not allowed to ask these questions, or I'm not allowed to come back with the wrong answer, there's kind of a rigged game. Test God. Have him reveal himself to you, you know, drop to your knees in prayer. Okay, fine. If I do that and I come back with an answer that's anything but Jesus is real, I'm the problem, I did it wrong, the agent of evil is whispering in my ear, it's a midlife crisis, it's whatever, right? And I just got fed up. Why in the world am I so scared? And I felt compelled. I felt compelled to keep asking. And the more questions I asked, the more questions I ended up coming up with. The more I engaged apologists who were supposed to know all this stuff, the more I realized this isn't adding up. And the more dissatisfied I was. I went back to Genesis 1:1, reread the whole Bible, not as a love letter, not as a cherry-picked thing, but I read the whole thing with a little more objectivity. I mean, it was just...
I'm the son of a fucker.
If that makes any sense. I couldn't stop myself, knowing I may lose my family. My marriage was already on the rocks. My Christian employers might find a reason to fire me. I may not even know some of the consequences that are going to happen to me if I continue, but I couldn't stop. It was just this weird compulsion. I think probably a lot of people can relate to that. You know, I see this could get nasty, but I gotta keep going.
Dick,
and at the end of my journey, I just realized, no, I just don't buy it anymore. So
you suck my dick, bitch.
When graphics, I've got Photoshop and After Effects up, and I'm doing keyframing stuff that doesn't require a lot of creative thought. So I just listen to stuff, and I put on YouTube videos, and that kind of thing. And you know, I remember listening to Hitchens, thinking I'm supposed to disagree with this guy. But at the end of that 90 minutes, I came to the realization he made a lot more sense. Now, I'm not Jewish, but I thought certainly the rabbis got this, right? If he's going to go out, he's going to defend the Abrahamic God. I mean, certainly he'll come out better. But it was Hitch who made the most sense. And it just lit a fire in me. I think also, given my temperament, the more people told me I'm not allowed to ask these questions, or I'm not allowed to come back with the wrong answer. There's kind of a rigged game. Test God. Have him reveal himself to you. You know, drop to your knees in prayer. Okay, fine. If I do that and I come back with an answer that's anything but Jesus is real, I'm the problem. I did it wrong. The agent of evil is whispering in my ear. It's a midlife crisis. It's whatever, right? And I just got fed up. Why in the world am I so scared? And I felt compelled to keep asking. And the more questions I asked, the more questions I ended up coming up with. The more I engaged apologists who were supposed to know all this stuff, the more I realized this isn't adding up. And the more dissatisfied I was. I went back to Genesis 1:1, reread the whole Bible, not as a love letter, not as a cherry-picked thing, but I read the whole thing with a little more objectivity. I mean, it was just, I couldn't not do it, if that makes any sense. I couldn't stop myself, knowing I may lose my family. My marriage was already on the rocks. My Christian employers might find a reason to fire me. I may not even know some of the consequences that are going to happen to me if I continue, but I couldn't stop. It was just this weird compulsion. I think probably a lot of people can relate to that. I see this could get nasty, but I got to keep going. And at the end of my journey, I just realized, no, I just don't buy it anymore. So
you mentioned that thousands of little things started nudging you. You had a couple of pretty big events where you're like really kind of started making you question. What pushes you from just that kind of personal satisfaction of understanding and coming to your own belief?
He's boring.
What pushes you into, okay, I need to share this?
Like I said, the only person that said that was my ex. She called me a because she was mad at me because she hated my guts.
This video keeps appearing in my feed.
Backstabbing.
Cyrax is back today. He's going off on Kate. Masshole reports. Back in the day, a couple of years ago now, she did a sting operation on him. Busted him for being into some things that no adult man should be into. Today, for some reason, he's decided to call her out on it and say that she was in the wrong for exposing him for who and what he is. Warning, you're gonna get so freaking mad from this.
So, I'm making this video because I spoke with a few friends and my personal legal team. And they all agreed that it would be a good idea for me to make this video.
Okay.
And this video is me calling out Kate Peters, aka Mass Troll Mafia.
Mass Troll Mafia.
Now, Kate, you say that, and then the last time that me and you talked a couple years ago, you sat right there and said that when I asked you, why did you target me? Your exact words were, because I'm a Okay.
Okay.
If that's your answer, where's your proof?
The proof is in the chat log, where you thought you were talking with someone that was 14. What did you say? I'm 31, but I look 14. And then you sent those pictures and those videos of yourself. Look, Raxel, any adult man who are doing that kind of thing, it kind of exposes them for what they are. I don't know if your brain is capable of comprehending that.
Where's your proof that I am one?
The chat logs.
Where's your mother proof that I really am a bitch?
The chat logs.
You have none.
The chat logs. On a few occasions, he actually admits to it. Yeah, I know what I did was wrong, and I shouldn't have done that, but it was wrong of her to catfish me in the first place, pretending to be 14. How does he justify this stuff? But this isn't how he justifies it. He says, if I was, I would be out going to parks and doing all that kind of stuff. He thinks as long as he's only done it online, he thinks that there's nothing wrong with that. No, Cyrex. That's not how this works.
After everything went down, I asked you, why did you target me?
Wow, look at that spit arm. Man, look at that spit arm. Sure, spit. I gotta see that arm again. I gotta see that spit arm again. Look at that spit arm. Spit to make a girl spit. Spit to make a girl spit. Wait to make a girl spit. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Spit, 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 spit. I'd like to get a new I'd like to get the slut you well. I'd like to get a slut you well. I'd like to get the slut you well. I'd like to get the slut you well. Well. Oh, I thought he was about to dick me up. I think he was pissed off. God fucking do it. God fucking do it. Spit the Uzi, Uzi, Uzi. There's Oh, Jesus, fucked up. Cuz, she just fucked up. You just fucked up, cuz. You just fucked up, cuz. You just fucked up. Slut. I see a dick in your future. I see a dick. 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 will and pleasure. You're my will and pleasure. Precious little Courtney. Precious little diamond. I leave it all to you. Precious little diamond. Crystallizing. Won't you talk to me? You're a precious diamond. Baby, stay with me. As you come close. You suck my dick, bitch. 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 We've been pancakes all night long! You're a damn stoner, you slut. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You slut that slut. Come on, slut. She's cute. Oh, this is a sad song. This is a sad song. Yes, sir.
The stars align in threes. They're so fine and free in blue and in green, like leaves.
You stupid motherfucker. Come on, you bitch.
Come climb the skies with me. Come here and come to see.
Move, slut. You dumbass. You fucking dumbass bitch. Move, you fucking dumbass. You dummy! You dumbass.
I went out at night.
This song makes me want to cry.
Alone.
With this.
The young blood flowing beyond the sea seemed to have drenched my spirit's wings. I bore my sorrow heavily. But when I lifted up my head from shadows taken on the snow, I saw Orion in the east burn steadily as long ago. From windows in my father's house, dreaming my dreams on winter nights, I watched Orion as a boy above another city's lights. Years ago, dreams ago, and youth goes too. The world's heart breaks beneath its wars. All things are changed, save in the east, the faithful beauty of the stars. changed, save in the east, the faithful beauty of the stars. So come part the sky with me. Come in.
Shut the fuck up.
And come to see melody in perfect symmetry, in love, in light, in love, light,
Last game. Is it gonna make me play this damn song again? Spit, 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 spit. From the opposite side. With her Uzi spit. With Uzi spit. Not quite, hers is not big enough. With Uzi Chris. Spit, spit, spit. With their spits. With their spits. Their spit, spit, spit. God fucking damn it. I'm facing the ear, you're rut. Well, fuck you too, slut. Prancing like a little whore. 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 God fucking damn it. God fucking damn it. Maybe not, God fucking damn it. Bitch. Man, that girl smells like spit. Oozy spit. Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Come on, you slut-out slut. Move, slut. Move!
There goes Spitz. There goes Spitz, man. Sure. You dumbass. Ah! At least I got outsmarted than your asshole. You
Now it's time to dick up some ponies. Dick them up. Dick them up. Dick them up. Dick them up. Dick. 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 Looks like it looks like I outsmarted you again. Dumbass bitch. Shit. Spit, 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 spit. Slut. You slut, that slut from China, Japan, and Orient. You slut. Am I gonna outsmart you again? You suck my slut. Suck my slut. I outsmarted you a third time, slut. I outspit smarted you. Get used to it. I'm gonna get a whore. I see what you're trying to do. That whore, that whore, that whore, that whore. Don't even think about it. You see that dick sticking out of his mouth? It went up his butthole first. You slut.